Alright, so what up, man? Gwinnett on X Malone checking in live and direct, man. I'm just pulling off from seeing the finished product from a black-owned business I want to jump into today. With this black-owned business, you really don't see a black person running business in this industry. Today, we're going to get into one of those lost files of black-owned on the Innovative Black Station. We're gonna get into a lost file episode with black-owned business Hell Nah Roofing. That's right, Hell Nah Roofing. I'm just pulling off from seeing the finished product like I was telling you, and it looks amazing, man. We have a black owner in the roofing business. If you don't know, let me introduce you to James of Hell Nah Roofing, man. You know I'm putting on when it comes to black owned. Tell him I sent you. Gwinnett on X Malone checking out. Enjoy this Tuesday. Hell Nah Roofing.
This is James with Hell Nah Roofing. So, what made me get into roofing? Well, it's like I was saying, as far as roofing goes, it's one of those businesses that it's kind of like toilet paper. You know, you can't go without it. You know, you might cut back on a lot of things, but when it comes time for those cutbacks, the last thing you'll cut back on is your toilet paper, and when your roof starts leaking, that's gonna be the last thing that you're gonna want to take a shortcut on. And so it's kind of recession-proof, and it's guaranteed money, and it adds a lot of curb appeal, and I like to bring that kind of stuff to a neighborhood and to a home. So the name of the company, kind of a long story, but just to keep it short, when I first moved down here to the South, I had already been in business for a while, but I needed to come up with something that, you know, as they say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, so when in the South, do as the Southerners do. And I sat and I pondered over it for a while. My wife tells me all the time, I was sitting on the couch, playing around with my computer, trying to think of a name, and when I came up with it, I immediately turned to my wife and I was like, that's it, Hell Nah Roofing. And, you know, she looked at me because she's originally from up north, and she was like, that's the dumbest name I've ever heard of. And I kept pushing it on her and pushing it on her, and then one day when she was in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru, as she pulled up to the window and the teller turned around and handed her food, just bust out laughing, she immediately came home and she was like, you know what, now I get it, now I get it. And so from there, the name just stuck. Young entrepreneur looking to start their own business, what I say to a lot of entrepreneurs that I have approach me, or sometimes I approach on my own if I see that they have some interest in being in business for themselves, is keep it simple, stupid. You know, it's an acronym, KISS. Learned it from a book. I believe it was, now that I think back, I believe it was How to Win Friends and Influence People. You know, in that book, he talked about people overly complicating things, and a lot of times, as an entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur, people tend to overly complicate the idea. They feel like they need more money, or they need a bigger idea, or they gotta have a warehouse or a whole bunch of staff. And truth be told, all you need is a really halfway decent idea, and the primary thing is work ethic and motivation. And if you have work ethic and motivation, there's pretty much nothing that you can't accomplish. Again, now that I think back, as an African-American business owner in the roofing industry, over the past decade, it has changed significantly. When I first started roofing, I mean, you could probably count on your hands here in the Atlanta metro area, even though it's a predominantly African-American metropolis, the amount of African-American owned contracting businesses there are. And you know, what I've done is I've actually taken the approach that instead of looking at it as an African American who happens to be in the construction business, I look at it more as a contractor who happens to be African American. My approach is, don't judge me based on my nationality, my ethnic makeup. Judge me based on my moral character and my level of expertise and my business savvy. And if I earn the job based on that criteria, then give me the job. And what it does is it motivates me to be more educated in my field, to aspire to higher and greater levels of expertise in the areas that we specialize in. And that gives me somewhat of an edge because I know at the end of the day, I have to perform at 150%. I can't get away with 80 or 90% like my counterparts. And so that's the same advice that I give, to other African American entrepreneurs. It's the exact same advice I give to my kids.